Well, guys, we have did it. Episode 10, ladies and gentlemen. Give yourselves a round of applause. You guys deserve it. Nah, for real. Thank you so much for getting me to episode 10. Like, honestly, I wouldn't have continued the series if the support was so, amazing. Like, really, you guys have kept liking the series, and I appreciate that a lot. Like, I really, really do. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Okay. Yeah, for real. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. A lot. And as promised, episode 10. We've gone into double digits, and today I'm not going to be bringing you one. I'm not going to be bringing you two. I'm going to be bringing you three Roblox Creepypastas for the episode 10 special. And yeah, so go grab your snacks, go grab your drink if you want a drink. I've got coffee. I love coffee. Best drink. Yeah, but yeah, go grab something to eat, something to drink. It's gonna be a pretty long video. I feel sorry for editing Keegan, because editing Keegan is going to pay for recording Keegan's long long intros and stuff like that. So yeah. So guys, if you are new here, which welcome. I don't know why you're joining on a special, but I mean, that's you. I'm going to be reading a creepypasta, and then at the end of the creepypasta, I'm going to be giving my thoughts, opinions, and views on the creepypasta. But for this one, I'm going to be reading the creepypasta, giving my thoughts, views, and opinions, and then moving on to another creepypasta, and then at the end of all three creepypastas, I'll compare them and say which one was my best, which one was my worst, which one was in the middle. So, the first story for today, we've got something called, or a creepypasta called Camp Finn. Now this one, very interesting, okay? It's got quite a lot of support. In the comments, there's a 9.4 out of 10. There's a 10 out of 10 here. There's also someone said it gives them a 4 in 1 vibe, which is actually another creepypasta that I did not too long ago. So hopefully that should entice you to watch this video or listen to this creepypasta. Okay, so apparently this creepypasta is not real. That's in the disclaimer. But yeah, okay, so here we go. To protect my privacy, I've decided to keep my name anonymous. I'm a regular Roblox user, scouting over the games page to find that one that catches my eye. Although I have a hard time, since there usually are none that interest me anymore like they did in the past. What had happened to me started with a rumor by blank. They narrated that a suspicious user called Captain roamed the Roblox servers at random times ranging from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. He would friend random users he encountered and ask them to join his game, and would develop into a rage the more time the friend user spent on other activities on Roblox. If the user did visit Campfin's place, in their sight would usually be a red house far away from their spawn location. It was said that most users would feel forced to enter the house, and upon doing so, the house would catch fire, leading to the user's character being deleted, and their account would suddenly vanish. In rare circumstances, Campfin's place would consist of something different, sometimes even related to an unusual topic he would sometimes discuss about to the user, if they were to say something about him in the website chat. Some accounts describe the randomly generated features of his place to be quite disturbing, and somewhat even related to the users themselves. I didn't believe this because I depended on my common sense that said that all myths and rumors are fake. I got home after a long and boring Friday of school and logged on to Roblox. I was relieved to have reached the weekend. I decided to play Why can't I speak English? I decided to play Death Run, as it was one of my long-time favorite games. However, as soon as I clicked the play button, I saw in the corner of my eye that I had a friend request. I usually ignored these, as many of these are kids trying to get attention and look cool by having a lot of friends by randomly sending a request and never doing anything once you accept it. The grey screen on the Roblox client vanished, and my character appeared in the lobby. I played for some good few minutes until I got bored and quit the game. I decided to go to the friend page and typically ignore the person's request. As soon as my browser loaded, I couldn't believe who sent it. The user was Campfin. I ignored it in a panic because I didn't want to suffer the consequences of the previous users that were foolish enough to accept it. To my surprise, the ignore button didn't do anything. I repeatedly clicked on it, but to no avail, it still didn't work. I just decided to leave it in the end. Eventually, after about 3 hours, the request icon turned red. I was confused since this of course didn't happen before, but I shook it off as a Roblox update. All of a sudden I got an urge to accept it, and so I did. His user appeared in the chat box and he messaged me immediately with the typical dialogue of a regular Roblox user. Hi, blank. Who are you? I just want a friend. I don't play with you unknown users. Leave me alone, you creep. Please? I grew tired almost instantly of chatting with him and went to play some games. After about another hour of place jumping, I came back to see this. Come to my place, idiots. I will make you vanish. Now. I ignored him. He was talking like an obnoxious 5-year-old. I logged off of Roblox for the day. When I woke up the next morning, I logged back on and saw that Campfin's chat box was red. This I had also never seen before. How could a user's chat box turn red? I got disturbed, and I grew more cautious while playing Roblox games. Eventually, my curiosity had forced me into joining this disgusting creature of a user's game. His game was titled For User, and just looking at it gave me goosebumps on my arm. It had no description. I joined the game and my character spawned on a grey path with white fog surrounding it. I did what any gamer would do and followed the path. On the grass there were lots of white pillars surrounding my character. What had been annoying me as soon as I joined the game was that there was some sort of deep whispering or breathing noise that would loop every time it played. As I walked on the pillars, I started to get more... As I walked on, the pillars started to get more and more distorted, cracked and broken. There was a message in black text on the ground that said, Aquamok, which to this day I still don't know what it means. I kept on going until I came across some more red text, but this time it was in Morse code, which I was unable to translate since I never studied before. Only heard of it. I looked up and saw the rather disturbing feature that the previous users had encountered. There were multiple wooden pikes that stuck out of the ground and my character was impaled on them. I was disgusted, horrified, and even though it was just virtual. I immediately went to the X button on the client, but it didn't work, nor did Alt F4 or even Task Manager. I tried to turn on my computer, and even that didn't work. The only deciphered option left was to completely unplug my computer, and it finally shut off. I breathed a sigh of relief and sat down in my chair. Luckily, I had a whole laptop that had Roblox on it, so I grabbed it and logged on. My account had vanished, which meant that the rumor was actually true. I logged on to an alt and searched up Captain again, but he had also vanished. I was confused and scared, so I decided to contact Roblox support in efforts to recover my account. A few days later, they had returned the email and got my main account back, so I logged onto it and Campbell had been removed from my friends list. It was a relief to have finally gotten the situation over with. I saw in the tab I got a message, and it was from Captain. There was one half of my mind telling me to view it, and the other telling the opposite. I decided to view it, and the message said, I'm coming for you. I brushed it off, since you can't find a Roblox user's address just by looking at their account. Anyways, I played some more Roblox games, and nothing happened for a few days. I made it clear that Captain doesn't like attention, or even being mentioned, but the reason I'm writing this is because I want to tell you that Captain is real. I just heard something outside. I'll be right back. Police investigation report. Name, Jackson Wine. Date of birth, blank, blank, blank. The 15-year-old was found dead in a bush outside his home at approximately 10 p.m. yesterday. Recorded markings are multiple lacerations around the head, the neck, and arms, including bruises around the torso and forehead, meaning the subject was most likely beaten and drained of blood. The killer was never caught, and these murders have been going on since late 2019. Further investigation will commence shortly. Okay, so that's the end of the first story, Captain. I have this, in my opinion, coffee. This, in my opinion, was a very good story. Right? Very good story. I enjoyed the story a lot. There was definitely some things that look. Okay, let me do this. I can only do it. Grammar was pretty good. Very good. Spelling was on point. There was a time where there was a comma out of place, which is why I reread the sentence. Something to do with the pillars. But that's just one thing that I spotted wrong. The commas, the grammar, the spelling, everything was good. The story was, the story was okay. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst either. It was a bunch of cliches that the user who wrote this put together, and I think that was a very clever way of of doing it. You know, I actually really do like the story though. Definitely a very it's not very unique, but like it's very. I don't actually know the word for it. It was a good story though. It was a decent read, you know. It kind of, the ending kind of reminded me of the one that actually scared me, which was Cursed Accounts. If you guys saw that video, Cursed Accounts ending, that one actually scared me, big time. But this one wasn't that creepy. I think it's the police report. That's why. If you stop, like I just heard something outside, I'll be right back. Maybe that would make it a bit more scary. But yeah, it wasn't a bad story at all, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna move on to the next one. Now, the next one is called the Grey Logo. Okay, so they probably referring to when Roblox changed the logo to grey. Coffee. um, sorry guys, I really love coffee. Um, so yeah, the Grey Logo. I'm actually interested to read this, so let's get into this. If you play Roblox, you've probably noticed that the logo on Roblox has been grey since several months ago. However, most people didn't know why this happened, including me. At first, I thought it was probably because of something like the death of a certain staff. Strangely, Roblox never explained this. Recently, I think I discovered some of the reasons for that. It's all from a stranger on the internet, of course. I first met Grego18 in Natural Disaster Survival, which is one of my favorite games. His name on the list attracted my attention first. Later, I found him on almost every survival list. Obviously, he's a pro at this game. He kept teaching others in the chat box as well. In order to improve my skills, I asked him some questions, and those were the first conversations we had. He was kind, polite, very intelligent, and corrected me like a teacher. He left me good impressions, so I decided to make friends with him. He accepted my request. So we talked a lot after that, from games to games, topics to topics, this and that. Mostly about Roblox, however. He told me lots of things about Roblox that I hadn't even known about. Later I heard it was time for dinner, so I told him I'll be back in a few minutes. When I moved back to my computer, what he sent me was this. Do you have any idea of why they turned the Roblox logo into color grey? That's just what I wanted to know, so I replied quickly. Of course not. Do you know that? He said, sure. 99.999% of people don't know this fact. I'm not joking. I'll prove it. He let me sit around and wait for about 5 minutes. Then he sent me this message. It's a warning. It's trying to tell people that bad things are happening, or will happen. Do you know why they chose the color grey? It's the color of the unfortunate. You may think it's ridiculous, but it's true. It may take some time for me to prove. Please wait for another 10 minutes. I did think it's very hilarious. I respected that guy for his clever and knowledgeable, but that was just nonsense. Anyway, I waited for him while starting a random Roblox game, which is the famous jailbreak. But all of a sudden, he sent me this message as soon as I joined the game. Don't play. I was surprised to find how quickly he typed. Actually, that's not impossible because you can follow other players. But I was panicked when I saw that message, so I turned off my game like lightning. okay. I saw something flashed when the window closed, but I never remembered that thing. It was too fast. I asked why. He said, I can't tell you that, sorry, but my explanation of the grey logo is almost finished. Sending it in a few seconds. What he gave me was a strange and shady link. You know I'm not silly enough to visit such a link by a stranger, like many other people like to do. So I just replied, sorry, I can't trust links. Why did you send it in text? Okay, after that, it's yet more silence. I had almost lost my trust in him. He left me to wait about 15 minutes of my life. What on earth did he want to tell me? I grew bored and started thinking, this whole thing is kind of creepy now. A strange guy is going to tell me a big secret by sending a suspicious link. Why did I spend time listening to the scammer's words? Why not spend time finding fun, like, just start another Roblox game? Don't be fooled by that liar, I said to myself while opening my old friend. Natural disaster survival. This time he didn't send me anything. Obviously he's rebuilding his trap or gave me trolling now. I joined the game successfully and began to have fun. He didn't join. In the third round I noticed something that was going wrong. The disaster was a blizzard. I chose to hid under the stair, then some players started walking towards me. I didn't feel suspicious because I thought they were trying to hide with me under the stair, but all of a sudden the message box is quickly filled with these messages. Grey? What about Grey? Why Grey? And those messages were sent from different players. In 1 second. They were just right in front of me. The bubbles just popped up at the same time. They were still walking to me, filling my whole screen. They were just their lifeless Roblox smiles on my screen. They were still approaching. Their faces were becoming nearer and bigger. Their smiles, a frightening horror, hurled from their faces to mine to torment me. The world became quiet at this very moment. The blizzard stopped making wind noises without warning. I couldn't stand the dead silence anymore, and just with one fast click on the X, the window closed. This time, just like the last time I closed the window, I saw that the game window changed in a flash. This time I remembered more things than the last time. The whole picture of the game, which was full of faces, became totally grey. As if you're loading the game, everything turned grey. What's more, the faces changed as well, but it was too short to capture the details. All I could remember was their face became from the meaningless happy smile into disappointment or sadness. Total grey sadness. I couldn't describe those faces, but I still remember how they shocked me on the very last frame when I closed the window. Then it was gone. I took a deep breath and found there was sweat on my head. What had happened? I don't know, but it must be connected with that strange guy, Gregor18. So I opened the chat box again and discovered that he finally sent me something. It took me several seconds to open the chat box. Then the blank chatting page froze for another 5 seconds before the messages finally appeared. So you saw it, huh? I had lots of questions to ask that time, but at last I typed only a single word. Yes! Sorry, I had to. I love saying yes like that. You don't believe me, he said. You ignore my warning. But I'm not going to blame you for this. Young men always ignore warnings. Anyway, want the explanation? Yes, again. I waited for 3 minutes before he gave me what I wanted for long. The grey logo is a warning from some mysterious place. However, only a very small group of people is aware of this and start investigating the whole thing. I am one of them. By collecting information and doing some hacker stuff, now I have some shocking conclusions. Firstly, they are trying to predict some bad, dangerous events and warn people about this. I'm still not sure what they are trying to tell, but obviously it's connected to our lives, yours and mine. Maybe it's just something small, like Roblox is shutting down. Maybe it's a big event in the world, like the original message was like this. He refused to tell me what it was. Ooh. Secondly, about the mysterious players. As far as I know, they're a group of grey entities in the games. They're usually disguised as normal players. Oddly, they won't do anything weird until you start your investigation or gain any knowledge about the grey warning. When you start to know something or catch on even very little, they will know you. Maybe they'll hack your computer. Then you will be greeted with them. That's a really horrible experience. At first you will only feel weird and creepy with them. They may ask some nonsense questions, but later it will be darker and more frightening, which may fuel your nightmares. That's why I told you not to play any games. Their identities are still a mystery. In my theory, they're perhaps some inside staff, or maybe maybe they don't know maybe they know something and try to tell people in this strange and secret way. Why? Why it's like this? Why they're doing this? What do they know? We have no idea. Anyway, I think the in-game encounters are another way of warning. He stopped for a while. I read his words over and over again before he very suddenly sent me the third explanation. Thirdly, the more you know, the more creepy things you will meet. The way people in the game are only the beginning. The next will be the worst. Be careful. Don't play another Roblox game. I'm terribly sorry for making you another knower, but I really think I must make more people know about this. He became silent again, my thoughts consuming me. Anyway, I didn't get any information at last and began to suffer from a headache. I decided to ponder such thoughts no more and got some sleep. I closed browser. However, the time This time, the computer's loading screens were comparable to a snail. While closing the tabs, it froze multiple times. It loaded slower and slower. The mouse seemed like it was getting heavier and heavier. Eventually, I dragged my mouse to the shutdown button with extreme difficulty. When the computer was asking me if I really wanted to shut down, the whole screen became grey like the Windows XP system. Slowly, but it was a Windows 7 system. Okay. Coffee. Look. I need to address this really quickly. The story was not bad. It kind of gave me a Men in Black kind of vibe. Not the movie, I'm talking about the actual Men in Black, if you know. Like, they help, like, they are, theoried, I guess you could say, to, kind of make help people or get rid of people, or I'm not exactly sure in the full theory, but they are basically there to deal with people that have encountered aliens or something along that sort. Now, this is kind of the same thing with the grey people in the story, which I think is such a good idea. I think the story was very good, and it actually got Creepypasta of the Month, which is pretty cool for one of the months last year. Now, this story, I feel, could have been implemented a bit better. It seemed very childish at the beginning, but slowly it grew on to be more mature, which I actually really like that it ended mature. I just wish the whole story was a bit more mature, if you get what I'm saying. The grammar was a bit off, bit more off than Campfin. Spelling was pretty good though. Spelling was pretty good, not gonna lie, just the grammar. So yeah, that not a bad story, I really like the uniqueness of this one, compared to Campfin, but however, Campfin's just layouts were perfect. This one's layouts, like grammar and stuff, could have been improved, in my opinion. Sorry guys, my coffee is getting cold, and it's sad. You can't waste coffee, guys. You can't waste coffee. Okay, there we go. My coffee is done. Yes. So yes, rip coffee. Anyway, so the last story for today was also a past creepypasta of the month. It's called 1/03/08, which, if you don't know, is referring to January the 3rd, 2008. So, yeah, this one, I don't know why it actually caught my eye, but, like, yeah, it was a pasta of the month, so that's probably what caught my eye. So let's see what's this one's about. Because honestly, the name is very interesting. It's a very unique name. It's a very, yeah, it's very, I find it very good when people, link names to creepy stuff. Or not names, link dates to creepy stuff. I find that very intriguing because you don't exactly get even an idea of what it's about. You know what I'm trying to say. So anyway, let's start with the story. On January 3rd, 2008, a user found a bug in the Roblox system which affected 2 Roblox users by the names of JJJJ and Lego. This event left both accounts terminated. Keep in mind that this glitch has been patched and it's not affected anyone to this day. The Games tab on Roblox back in 2008 consisted of many games. Unlike today, the Games tab changed its games daily, so finding a new game to play was not a hard task. However, on 1/03/08, the Games tab showed a very strange game that caught many users' attention. This game was called Confusion, with a logo which appears to take place underground. Underground battle games were Roblox's favorite back then, so people were more than happy to see another one show up on the front page. The creator of the game was a user named W, a user with only one character. No one knew how he got such a name. The account was created in 2006, which led many to believe that he found a glitch in the system when Roblox was not a very secure website. A couple people on the forums talked about the strange occurrence, where some people believed that this was a glitch, some believed it was a hack, and some thought he used spaces in his name when spaces were still available. A Roblox moderator known as Wukong said, "Me and a couple mod of orators will look at this occurrence," he said in a temporary pinned forum post. The game itself appeared nothing too complex, simply built mountains and white spheres spammed everywhere. Many people in the game talked mainly about the creator W and didn't explore the game that much. One user named JJJ decided to check around the game. He said on a forum post after the incident, "I decided to kick around the balls, cause why not? One of the balls was dark grey, so standing out from all the white balls. So I decided to kick that one, and that's when it started going downhill. When he touched the ball, he was teleported to a black box with a lighting script that went off every couple of seconds. Nothing new, this was a common script used in horror games back then. In the corner there was a brown glowing rectangle. It was about 2 studs high, 2 studs wide, and 1 stud thick. JJJ plained in his forum post. Explained, I'm guessing. Like any Robloxian would do, he walking towards the box, but before he could touch it, the game froze, which forced him to restart his computer. But after the restart, his computer became slower and slower until it wasn't functional. Another user named Lego experienced the same thing a couple hours after JJJ. Ego was not a uncommon face in the Roblox forums. He was apparently known for ranting on the forums mainly about people who spawn killed / team killed in his favorite games. When Lego joined the game, he at first talked about how the game was a lie and wasn't a cool game, but he later decided to walk around and check the game out, and well, the same thing happened to Lego as what happened to JJJ. About 2 hours after Lego joined the suspicious game, the game was shut down, and W's username was slapped with the content deleted. However, W was not banned. He was online for the most part, and even replied to a couple of forum posts from people who talked about this event. At around 9:30 p.m, Lego's avatar was changed to look like JJJ's avatar. Then both users posted many forum posts with titles like "Roblox is doomed" and "Escape is no more." On January 4th, 2008, after the incident, JJJ, Lego, and W were terminated. Many people believe that JJJ and Lego were compromised, while others believe that it was a massive prank resulting in terminations due to the fact that this prank caused a lot of controversy. Many people after the incident claimed that they were also hacked because of this game, but not all of these claims were fake. This unfortunate event eventually died down when Roblox warned people that if they talked about it, they would be banned. In February 2017, Lego's data was completely wiped from the website, and the username Lego has now been taken by another user. It is now 2019, which was obviously last year, and has been over 11 years since this event took place. I can say that Roblox has made a full recovery from this, and I'm very glad I can honestly say this. Although it is unknown, Lego and W returned to the site. JJJ returned about 2 months after the incident on an account called JJJ2. Only to be temporarily terminated due to talking about this event. He was later unterminated, but JJJ has not returned since. This was sick. This was really a good, this was really a good creepypasta in my opinion. The grammar was atrocious, and you guys know how much I love my grammar and spelling, but the spelling was even terrible, and the grammar was terrible. But the story was a pretty decent story, you know. I enjoyed the story. Very unique. Hold on. Yeah, this is definitely a very good good story. I really enjoyed the story, and yeah. That's basically it from this story. So, in general, the 3 stories were decent. All of them were really decent. if I'm being honest. Now it's time I rate them in order, since it is more than one. In this video, it's time I rate them. So, if I have to be honest, in my opinion, Capfin would take #1 spot. It just seemed like I wanted to read a lot more. You know, I'm not saying that the other two were bad. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, Capfin was better than the other two, because it had that element of what's going to happen next, what's going to happen next. Well, I didn't feel that while reading the Grey Logo or 1/03/08. Because I'm not sure why I feel this way. I feel like the grammar puts me off. Like, I feel like the grammar actually puts me off. I feel like that's why. And Capfin's grammar was exceptional, to be honest. So yeah. Next up, I don't know, my guys. I really like the story of the Grey Logo and 1/03/08. None of them are really filled with creepypastas like Capfin was. The Grey, I would say, Capfin first, 1/03/08 second, and then the Grey Logo. Despite 1/03/08 seconds having the worst grammar, I feel like it had I don't even know, guys. I feel like the real life element kind of came into the Grey Logo a bit, you know. And you guys know how much I don't like the real life element in Roblox Creepypastas, because it adds unrealisticness, you know. So, in my opinion, it would be Capfin, 1/03/08, and then the Grey Logo. Like, I feel like that would be my order in this video. But yeah, all of them were generally good stories. I'm actually really happy that we managed to get such good stories in the 10th episode special. But let me know what down below what your guys's rankings were of the story, because of course everyone has their own opinions. And yeah, again, thank you guys so much for joining me on the 10th episode special. The series is really special to me itself, so, and you guys are the ones that make that possible, right? By liking all of the creepypasta videos, and yeah, it's just sick. So I appreciate that a lot. And obviously, we're gonna be returning to normal from next week Sunday, with episode 11. I just thought I'd do something special, you know, we're in double digits now with the episodes, so, yeah, we'll see what happens, from here on with the series. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, because, next video, yes.